Hey guys, welcome to another video. I hope you're all having a wonderful day. Today we are building over in Paralives. This is my second house I have built in Paralives, and I wanted to test out the stairs feature and make a two-story house, and so that is what we are doing today. It is a pretty large family home. It has technically 5 bedrooms, but I furnished one of the bedrooms for like an at-home gym sort of thing, and then the other 4 are for the actual family. And it has 3 bathrooms. There are 2 bathrooms downstairs. One is where the master bedroom is, and then the other one is like a bathroom slash laundry room. You have to walk through the bathroom to get to the laundry room. I'm not sure how realistic that is, but that's just kind of how the floor plan laid out. I'll explain it more once we get over in that portion of the house. And then we have one upstairs that I figured all of the kids probably share. And if there's one that needs to use a different one, they can use the second one downstairs that's in combination with the laundry room. I really hope you guys enjoyed today's build. Of course, if you do, please don't forget to leave a like and also subscribe if you have not already, and comment down below what your favorite part of today's build is, or maybe if you have any building tips for me as far as Paralives go, feel free to leave those down below as well. And share this video with your friends if they are a fan of life simming games as well. Of course, thank you guys so much. It means the world to me how much love and support you guys give me, and although I don't get a chance to respond to every single comment, just know that I read every single one and I really appreciate every single one that you guys give me. And on my last Paralives build that I did, I had a few of you guys give me some really good tips about different building features in this game, and I appreciate that so much. I had no idea that you could change the text on the welcome mat, for example, and I actually did that here in this house this time. And I also don't know how I missed it, but I had no idea that you could add your own artwork in this game and add it in the blank picture frames. That is absolutely amazing, and you guys know that I definitely utilized that feature in this build, and I can't wait till I have a good stockpile of artwork, and then it's gonna take even less time for me to build, because it is a little bit time consuming looking for art or even making your own like I did. I have a Canva membership. That's what I use to make my thumbnails, and so I utilized that to make some of my own artwork. Of course, not all of the artwork in this build is my own creation, just FYI. I will probably, if I remember, let you guys know what I did and did not make. Just know that if it looks like there's a certain landscaped photo of like a beautiful view of nature, I did not do that, and it's like watercolor and it's really good. I pulled that offline somewhere. I did not make that, but the posters in like the kids' rooms and stuff is what I actually made from Canva, so just a little FYI. I'll try to let you guys know what I did and did not make. I'm going to try to make most of my own artwork, at least as of right now, until I decide it's too much work, but that's kind of part of the fun, and then I don't feel like I'm taking someone else's work, you know what I mean? And so yeah, that is such a cool feature that they added though, so thank you guys so much for those of you that have let me know some really good features. And I didn't realize in the last house that I built that there was a washer and dryer until I had already made the floor plan, and I did not have room to fit the washer and dryer, and so I didn't get to use it last time, so I was super excited to use it this time. I had that in mind before I even started the floor plan, was the laundry room, and so I made sure I included it this time. Although I have not played around with the laundry room yet, I'm not sure, like, is the washer and dryer even functional? If you guys have tested it out in game, feel free to let me know down below. I definitely don't remember it saying that it was just for decoration and paras cannot use it yet, like the stools have that, so maybe it actually is functional. I probably should have play tested that, but everything I put in this house, you could tell it's 100% usable, and so that's why I haven't play tested this yet. But at this point in the build, I have a really good start on the outside structure of the house, and I am taking inspiration of a lot of my Sims builds, and it's a very pretty yellow classic Suburban. That's really what I was going for. And I absolutely love the look of having like the columns on each corner of the house. And there's not really any way to easily place them at the moment, but what I did here was take the regular square column and size it down to as thin as I like it personally. And then I just copy and pasted it on each corner. So it really didn't take too much time once I did the initial one. And you also have to make sure it fits both the bottom and the top, if that makes sense. And so yeah, let me know how you guys like the way I did the columns on this house. I think it looks really good. I also put a column horizontally on top of the second story where it meets the roof eave, and I have like that white part that meets the yellow part. I put a column there just so it has a nice clean edge to it and it doesn't look too like it's missing something, basically, because I felt like it was missing something. So that is why I ended up adding that, and I am actually really happy with the way that it looks. It definitely took some extra time to do those extra details, but I do think it was worth it at the end. And the building feature, just like the gameplay, honestly, is a little bit finicky at the moment. It's a little bit buggy, so sometimes if you exit the game and come back in, the horizontal column on the second story where the yellow and the white meet specifically will be out of place. And so if you end up downloading this and it's out of place, just honestly delete it. It's really more so for looks than it is for functionality, obviously. So if it bothers you, definitely feel free to remove it. But all of the other columns, they stay in place. They don't seem to give me a problem at all, which is really, really nice, because those are the main ones that I feel like add a lot of detail to the house. The horizontal one is definitely missable if you don't know that it's there, you know? We are now inside working on the floor plan. So when you first walk in the front door, which, by the way, how pretty is that front door? I absolutely love the glass window on it, and that color blue is just so pretty to me. And of course I had to make the panels on the window, or the shutters on the window, match it, which is the best part of having a color wheel, because you can really make things match perfectly. But like I was saying, when you first walk in the front door, it leads directly to the dining room. And then we have the staircase leading upstairs. Off to the right, that door right there is the first like main bathroom, where the laundry room is too. And yes, I could have added a door where the laundry room was so that you didn't have to go through that bathroom, but I really did not want to overload this room with a bunch of doors. Sometimes that just doesn't look good to me, and I kind of like the concept of going into that bathroom and having an archway that leads to the laundry room. I feel like it's kind of different and fun. And then if you keep going through the dining room, through that archway, you go to the kitchen, and the kitchen turns out super cute in this build, by the way. If you go to the left, it leads to the living room. And then there is a back sliding glass door that leads to the balcony or the patio outside. And then the master bedroom and master bathroom is right there off of the living room. So it's a very functional floor plan down here, and I really like the way the floor plan laid out. And then when you go upstairs, I haven't done the upstairs floor plan yet, but that is where all of the other bedrooms are, obviously. So we have 4 other bedrooms up there, some bigger than others. I chose the smallest one to make as like an at-home gym. And then there's a large hallway space right outside of the sliding glass door up there that leads to the upstairs balcony. And I made that as a little office nook. It turned out pretty cute. And as far as the children's ages go and how I furnish those rooms up there, we have either a preteen or a teenager, because there are actually preteens in this game, which I found to be so fun. And I haven't played with any of the kids yet, to be honest, just babies. I just had my para have a baby recently, and so that's the only one I'm kind of familiar with at the moment. But I'm looking forward to testing out the rest of the life stages. But we have either a preteen or teen, up to you really. If it's a preteen, he's just about to turn into a teenager for sure. Like it's a punk style room, so really perfect for teenagers, I feel like. And then I have a room for a toddler and then a room for a baby. So of course, if you want to download this off of the Steam Workshop, it is available, and you could totally redo all of the bedrooms to fit the needs of your family. So I am just placing all of the furniture in these rooms down here, at least the living room, dining room, and bedroom, just to get a feel of how the room will end up turning out. And I really love the way that I do the master bedroom. I think it turns out so good. Look at how beautiful this bed is. I love the green, and I love how like the sheets and the blanket match, and then I did a very, very light green on the comforter itself. It just looks so good. I love how customizable this game is. It really adds to the character of the game, and it's just so much fun to play around with. I did find myself having a little bit too much fun customizing certain things in this house, and you can really lose track of time when doing that. And so that is why this speed build ended up being an hour long, is because of how customized I made it. I didn't want to just stick with the default colors of anything. I really wanted to change it to really match how I wanted it to be, and so it just makes the speed build be a little bit longer than it otherwise would have, like on The Sims. Sometimes I will have hour-long speed builds, don't get me wrong, but I'm starting to get pretty fast at The Sims speed builds, but not so much on Paralives. I'm gonna have to work on it on this. I could have sped up this speed build a little bit more and made it 10 minutes shorter, but then it just goes so fast, and I really like giving you guys the opportunity to really see what I'm doing and maybe even give you ideas or even teach you how to build here in Paralives. I just think it makes a lot more sense to have it slower. It's easier to watch, you know? That's actually how I learned how to build a while ago, was by watching speed builds. And so yeah, it's kind of hard to follow along if it's going too fast, basically, is what I'm trying to say. But we are starting on the kitchen now, which is one of my favorite parts of this house, and I always have so much fun doing kitchens, to be honest. I love to cook in real life, and so it comes with the territory. It makes sense as to why I enjoy building kitchens in simulation games so much. I really like to think about how I would want my dream kitchen to be. Sometimes it's not always a dream kitchen, don't get me wrong, but I really like to customize kitchens in simulation games. It's so fun, and I really try to make my kitchens very functional but cute at the same time, and as realistic as possible too. Like, you'll notice in this kitchen, once I get all of the cabinets in, as far as the clutter items go, I am using a lot of realistic items. Like over by the fridge, I end up putting some soda bottles. I found that in the clutter item list. There's like a knockoff Coke and knockoff Sprite soda bottle. I absolutely love that. I think that is so much fun that they added that in this game, and so realistic. So I added that by the fridge because that's where, like, I don't know, I feel like a lot of people keep their 2-liter sodas by the fridge. It kind of just makes sense. That's where I keep mine. That's where my parents always kept theirs, and it was like the perfect spot. That's where the coffee maker ends up being. I also add a little like mixing bowl with a wooden spoon and a bag of flour right by the stove. It looks like your pair is probably in the middle of cooking, and I just really tried to make it look realistic and that your parents actually use the kitchen to cook in. Hopefully the stove works in this house, because I did notice my last house, I used the free place tool, or the like advanced place tool, to move the stove exactly where I wanted it to be, but it didn't work, and I was like playing around with it, could not figure out for the life of me what was wrong with it. I finally just moved it, and I noticed that it clipped onto the wall somewhere, and so I left it where it clipped. And so then I tested it out, and my para was able to use it after that. So I kept that in mind with this build. I just left it where it clipped on the wall and called it a day, and then I put all of the cabinets around it, which it kind of worked out better anyways. I feel like the kitchen, the layout of it just turned out so good. I absolutely love the layout of this kitchen. We have the island in the middle, and like I was saying earlier about the stools not being functional, well, I mentioned it in passing because I said the washer and dryer didn't have that note like the stools did. And so your paras are not at the moment able to use the stools, but it sounds like they will come out with a future update where your paras will actually be able to use the stools. So I'm looking forward to that. It's just for decoration at the moment. It would look weird if I didn't have the stools, I feel like, so I added them. Also, the curtain options in this game at the moment are a little slim. I don't love a lot of them. There's like a couple of them that I do like, and this is one of the two that I like. It's very like homey feeling, almost farmhousey in a way, and I just think it's super cute. It also reminds me of The Sims 2 for some reason, and I also like the ones that I end up using in the living room. You'll see a little bit later, and those really are the only ones I like at the moment. And what sucks about these right here I'm using in the kitchen, you cannot have like a plain swatch. There's only the floral swatch, which is cute, don't get me wrong, but sometimes you just want plain curtains of a plain color, a solid color. And so yeah, that's a little unfortunate, but it's fine, I guess. I was hoping it was going to be one of those items that you could choose different patterns on, like some of the other options in the game, like the bedspreads, for example. But no, you literally are stuck with just the flowers, which, like I said, they're cute, but sometimes you just want a good old solid color. I also found like a wooden bench, and I put that on the wall behind the island. I felt like it was missing something, and I put a window above it, and I just think that area is super cute. And I'm adding a little fruit basket on the window and a lot of pretty realistic clutter items. In my opinion, they're pretty realistic, and that's what I love to go for in my simulation games, is as realistic as possible. Obviously, it's not going to be 100% realistic, but close enough. And here's the mixing bowl I was talking about. Oh, I also found some measuring spoons. There's a little thing of olive oil and flour. Maybe they're about to mix up some bread or something. And I have a little bread basket right next to it, and it has a homemade loaf of bread, or at least what I like to imagine is a homemade loaf of bread. And I just think these clutter items are so cute and so awesome and pretty realistic too. I know it's a little pixelated sometimes, like some objects are pretty pixelated. I'm wondering if they will end up doing an overhaul of the actual look of the game eventually, and this is only like for early access and it won't be pixelated all the time, or if this is just how it's going to be in the game to make it more playable for more people. Like, you don't have to have a high-end computer to be able to run this game. I'm not 100% sure. I don't love the fact that these objects are a little bit pixelated, like the flower, for example, but at the end of the day, it is just a clutter item, so it's not too big of a deal. I did realize that my game was not in like the high mode for quality, the graphics. And so once I switched to the high quality graphics instead of the medium, it did help with the pixelated look a little bit, but still not that great. Like, if you notice these end tables, the coffee table, and the TV stand, it's just a little pixelated. I'm not sure why, but it is. Let me know down below if you guys know if they're going to overhaul the graphics eventually, or if this is pretty much how the game's going to look forever. I do think they did a great job on the art style in general. Like the paras and most of the main items in the game. Like, these pillows are really high quality. I think they're super cute. I love that flower pillow, by the way. I just think it's adorable. But yeah, if you know if they're going to do an overhaul of like the little clutter items and make them better graphics, let me know down below. Or, you know, maybe they're just planning on leaving it like this. I'm curious. But that's just a little nitpicky, to be honest. That's just my opinion. I do love the look of the game and the game in general a lot. Like, I have a lot of fun building and playing this game. Even though there's not a lot of gameplay at the moment, it's still really fun to explore. But yeah, there's just a few things that I don't like. But like I said, just a little nitpicky. Especially since there's not supposed to be any paid DLC. All of the added features in the future are supposed to come for free in the base game. And so if that's the case, then I can look past the pixelatedness of the flower. Like, that's not a big deal. Like I said, that's really just a clutter item, so it's not a huge deal. A lot of the objects are pretty good looking. Just sometimes some objects are a little pixelated. Looking closely at the TV stand, it's not so bad, but when you're up like far away from it, it is kind of pixely. I don't know. Maybe that's just how it's supposed to be so it runs smoother. By the way, right now there's a PlayStation, or it looks like a PS5, particularly in the living room. That is just for decoration at the moment, but it has a little bit of a note, just like the stool, that eventually it will be functional, so I'm looking forward to that too. That'll be really fun. I'm also really looking forward to pets and seasons to be added. I think that's going to add so much to the game. Those are like must-haves in simulation games, in my opinion. It really makes a huge difference and makes it feel so much more realistic, and so I'm really looking forward to those. I know that like when you first start the game and you choose your storyline, or like the story aspect part of the game, whether you want it to be really filled with drama or pretty chill or a good in between, there is a dog, and so it seems like they're pretty close to releasing it. Like, they already have the animals made, but there must be a lot of bugs involved with them that they just haven't worked out yet. But I am really excited for pets to be released, and like I said, seasons will be really fun to explore too. I always love thunderstorms in simulation games. I just think it is so fun, and I think thunderstorms, when you're at home and you're not like driving on the street, it's not relaxing when you're out on the road, you know? But if you're at home and you can just lay under a blanket and watch a movie, thunderstorms are just so relaxing to me. How do you guys feel about that? Like, are you like me and you like thunderstorms in real life as long as you're at home? Or do you absolutely hate them and you only like the sunshine? I like the sunshine when I'm out and about, but if I'm at home, like I said, it's just something about a thunderstorm is just so relaxing. You can take some of the best naps during a thunderstorm. But anyways, we are getting the master bedroom together now. I really love how you can add shoes very easily on that shoe stand. I love that touch that they did. And I also just love having the ability to resize these mirrors however big or small you want them to be. I love that so much. I can finally create my dresser mirror combo dream like I've had forever now, that The Sims 4 doesn't really make very easy. You can do it so easily in this game. I just love the way this master bedroom has come out. Like, I love the green theme going on. These lamps are like a wicker bottom with a regular like lampshade on the top. I'm using these same curtains from the kitchen, unfortunately, because we just have slim pickings as far as curtain goes, but it did really match like the viney floral look of the bedspread itself. It's like, it's different, but it goes together at the same time. I don't know, I just think it really complemented each other very nicely. And the rugs are another thing that are a little lackluster in my opinion. I can't wait for them to add more rugs, especially with more patterns, because I don't love some of the patterns. My favorite one is the floral one that you see in the living room, but I can't have that in every room, you know? So I just did a plain old rug in the master bedroom, and it's just brown. I mean, it's a little bit boring, but it kind of ties the room together pretty nicely. Actually, upstairs, I knew I didn't have a lot of rugs to choose from. I ended up putting rugs in the bedrooms anyways, but they have carpet upstairs. I just thought it broke up the monotony of the wood floor a lot, and it just was a really nice compliment to the wood floor. And it kind of makes sense for a second story house anyways, because you can really hear foot traffic when you're upstairs or like downstairs from the upstairs. Like whoever's upstairs, if it's kids, you know, they're running around and you can really hear the foot traffic. And so the carpet helps to insulate that foot traffic. It just makes sense. It's realistic, you know? Like if you think of like a townhouse or a lot of second story houses, chances are the second story will have carpet. I'm not done with the master bedroom quite yet. There is a couple more additions I'm going to put in there, but I just wanted to get the master bathroom done, and it just has like a stand-up shower, which these stand-up showers are kind of large, don't you guys think? It was a little hard to get one to fit in that spot. But I did make it work at least. And then we have the toilet and the sink, and I love that they have feminine hygiene products in this game. That is such a nice realistic addition. You can really make realistic houses in this game, and it's just really awesome. And so yeah, I mean, that's really it for the bathroom. I tried to make it as cute as possible with what I had to work with, but we are now back adding the last couple of things in the master bedroom. So I have a piano in here. I haven't had my paras play the piano yet, so I'm not sure how that looks, but I bet it's super adorable. We have a little photo above it, which that photo actually comes with the game. I haven't added my own quite yet as far as this speed build goes, but I will here shortly. And then I have some random like wall art above the bed. I mean, I tried to pick the cutest things I could see. And the lighting in this game is weird to me. I don't know. I have a feeling that it's just not 100% yet. Like they're probably going to fix it down the line. But at night, it's like super bright in like a little area and then dark in the rest of the room. Like it's kind of weird. Like it doesn't light up the whole room like it should. And then during the day, it's like super daylight. I don't know, it's weird to be honest guys, but it works. At least you can see pretty good at the end of the day. Like it's not that bad, but it is just a little bit weird. But like I said, I'm sure they're going to fix it at some point. It is only early access, so you got to give them some grace. But we are now working on the dining room finally, and I have a 6-seater table, and I really like the fact that you actually clip the chairs onto the table. I wasn't sure how it would work otherwise, so that was really nice to see. And I found this super cute like kitchen hutch, and I'm just placing random items on it. I have like a fruit bowl for some reason. Maybe it's fake fruit. And then I have a little home sign, which I think is adorable. And I have a couple of picture frames here, but I did not add any pictures in them. I was thinking maybe if you take some screenshots of your family as you're playing, you could add those pictures in those picture frames, which that is one of the main reasons it makes it really nice that you're able to add your own pictures in this game. You're really able to easily add pictures of your Paras family in the picture frame. So I just think that's a really, really nice touch. I feel like they put a lot of thought into that little detail. So the same little bench that I have in the kitchen, I put here in the dining room as well, which looking at the bench right now is giving me some ideas. You know those dining tables that has like 4 chairs, and then where you would put 2 additional chairs, there's a bench there instead. It's like a very farmhousey style dining table. I wonder if you're able to do that with that ottoman bench that I put in the dining and kitchen. I need to test that out. You probably are able to do it, you're just not able to really eat there, but it would be a really pretty decoration though. And I also love how I did the pillows on top of the ottoman in the dining room. I think that is so cute. I love these pillows in this game, and I love how the advanced tool makes it so easy to place the pillows on the couch. It's just so awesome. But I am going to go back a little bit later once I add some pictures and artwork in the game, and I will place those in the dining room. So the dining room's not 100% done. I have a little photo that I put in between the mirror and the window that's there, and then I do have some pictures that I am having like going up the staircase, and I will add those in a little bit. But right now we are working on the downstairs like main bathroom where the laundry room is too. And I think this bathroom turned out really good. It's super spacious, and I have this shelf that is right next to the toilet. I have a bunch of like realistic stuff that you would find in a typical bathroom. We have a first aid kit, we have some band-aids, feminine hygiene products, I have toilet paper at the bottom. It's just so much fun adding all of these little clutter items. I just can't get over it, guys. That's what I meant about getting carried away with adding all of these little clutter items and really customizing the build and it taking forever by the end of it. Because I just can't help myself. Once I see all of the clutter items and I have these ideas, I just have to place it. And then I have to make it perfect too, so that doesn't help. And then I have a picture above the toilets. I do wish we had some wall hanging towels in this game. I'm sure that will come eventually. That's just one thing I really miss doing bathrooms in this game. I do it a lot in The Sims 4, and so it's very missed here in Paralives, but I could make it work nonetheless. Just plopping a picture frame above the toilet kind of does what it needs to. I just love to put one of the folded like hand towels above the toilet. It's just a nice little touch. We are now working on the laundry room really fast, and like I said earlier, at least I think I said, I have not tested out the washer and dryer yet, so hopefully it's actually functional. If not, missed opportunity for sure. Like, what's even the point of having it? Now, with that being said, it did not have a note saying that it's not functional at the moment, so I need to go in game and test it out, but feel free to let me know down below if it is actually functional. I love the way that I did this laundry room. It's very practical and realistic. We have like a clothing rack on one side with a little chair next to it with a cute little pillow, and I put a little broom on the wall, and I was going to put some shelving above the washer and dryer, but there was literally no laundry room clutter items. Like, there's no laundry soap and dryer sheet, like none of that. And so it really would have been just blank. And so I think it looked a lot better just putting a window there instead. And on top of the washer and dryer, I put some towels and a basket full of clothes that probably need to be folded, and just trying to make it look as realistic as possible and detailed as possible with using what I had available to me. And then I went and plopped in those pictures in the picture frames in the dining room like I was talking about earlier. I have some blue flowers going up the stairs, and then we have like a landscaped photo in between the mirror and window in the dining room. I did not make either one of those, but the artwork you're going to see me add in this nursery as well. All of the kids' rooms and the gym, I am adding artwork that I actually made off of Canva, which is like a subscription service. Like, it is free, there's a free version, but I have the subscription version because I use that for like my thumbnails and stuff. I have a lot of fun making the art. Now, I mean, I'm not making it all together. Like, I'm just pulling random like stickers and stuff and putting it on there over each other and just kind of designing it myself by using pre-made stuff, if that makes sense. So just keep that in mind. I'm definitely not an artist. I could never make it myself completely. It is fun putting different stuff together to make like a unique piece of art though. I had so much fun doing it, especially in the teenagers room where I have a bunch of like punk rock posters around. It just was so fun to really customize your Para's rooms to be exactly how you want their personality to be. I am working on the baby's room first. I'm doing like a purple theme. I thought it was fun to do something other than pink because I tend to do pink a lot. It's almost like pink and purple, but more purple than pink for sure. There might be some pink accents here and there, and it's like a super baby purple, like a light pastel, maybe a little bit darker than pastel, but it's light purple, like a lilac, I guess. And I just think it turned out super cute. And I have a couple of nightstands on both sides of the crib with a couple of lamps. There's another lamp next to the dresser, and of course I have to put my mirror above the dresser, but at least I chose something different than the typical square or rectangle that I do, and I did the curved one. I thought it was a super cute change. And then on top of the dresser, I put this dollhouse, which is just decor at the moment. I'm pretty sure it's not actually functional. But I thought it was super cute. I almost sized it up and put it on the ground somewhere, but it was super pixelated, and I was like, oh, no can do, I can't do that. It just didn't look right, but I did come across a teddy bear. So in the baby's room, I did not size the teddy bear up. I actually sized it down a little bit, but in the toddler's room, he has a sort of teddy bear theme to his room. And so I decided, let's go ahead and size up the teddy bear. And it actually wasn't pixelated, so I was super happy about that. And so I did give him a sized up teddy bear. I don't think he can use it though. I mean, I could be wrong. I really need to test these objects to see what's functional and what's not, but it's in the clutter category, so my guess is that it is not functional. But on a side note, do you guys see those pillows? At the bottom, they have like different characters lounging on them. There's one that has like a man, so I wonder if that's supposed to be a sort of like cuddling body pillow, and it just has like a picture of like a person or a para on there. I just think that's such a funny and cute touch. I don't know if I ever find myself using it, but we shall see if that ever happens. But nonetheless, it is pretty funny though. So we are almost done with the baby's nursery. I did find it a little bit difficult to fill up all of the rooms without being too repetitive, but that's just, it's early access, so I'm sure they'll be adding more stuff over time, especially like nurseries and the toddler's room and stuff. It was just really difficult to find enough stuff to really fill it up. But I did add a little chair in here. I thought it was a cute touch, and I was actually able to make it match the curtains like perfectly, which I thought was kind of fun. And then I added some cute pillows on top just to make it look a little bit more detailed. And I found a few baby toys, and I'm just placing them kind of around the nursery. I haven't seen my Para's baby play with them yet, so I need to get them in game like everything else and actually play with the toys. I'm really curious about that ring tower. That just seems like it would be so cute to see my Para's baby play with that. And one thing about using the advanced movement tool is it will make things disappear sometimes. So that's just one unfortunate bug that they did point out already, so it's on their radar. So hopefully that's fixed sooner than later, just because it's kind of annoying having to like place and replace things a couple different times. This artwork right here I made in Canva, but like I said, it's literally just like a sticker, like the flower. I just pulled that and placed it on a white background and called it a day. I just thought it was kind of cute. It looks like something that maybe your paras painted themselves. That's what I like to think of anyways. Maybe there's like an artist that lives in this house and she painted those flowers for her baby's nursery. I do include an easel over in the little office nook where the hallway is, right by the sliding glass door on the second story. And so there is an easel, so you can have that little bit of a storytelling thing where, you know, they paint their own artwork. But we are working on the preteen slash teens room first. Really, it's up to you. Like I said, I see it more of like a teens room though. I went with like a punk alternative sort of theme. I was thinking this para was like really into alternative music, rock music, really loves to play video games. I put a couple guitars in here. I don't think I was able to fit a keyboard, or else I would have put that in here too, but I did fit a dresser right below the window, and right above the bed. I'll place it here shortly. I do put a couple of like posters that I did make in Canva, but like I said, I just put like different stickers on top of each other. So this one right here, I put like a band playing and it's like the silhouette of like a band, and then behind it I put the words like punk and kind of faded it. I thought it was really fun and looks like a rock poster to me. And then there is literally a poster that says rock with like a guitar, and right above the computer desk, that's where I put that poster. And I also add one that says skate and has like a skateboard, which I feel like would be so fun if they were to add like a skateboarding hobby in Paralives, and like your paras could actually skateboard. I feel like that would be like such a fun touch. I mean, probably not, but never say never. But on the computer desk, I added one of those curved monitor gaming computers with a headset right next to it. And then, of course, the guitar, like I was telling you about. I'm placing a couple of rugs in here, and I actually put the one underneath the bed on like a caddy corner, which I feel like is super fun, especially for a teen with an alternative like personality. Just really makes sense to me. And I also found this little sketchbook I placed on top of the dresser, or not the dresser, but the computer desk. I thought it was a nice little touch. Maybe they're into art too, with a stack of clothes and some candles on the dresser. I kind of ran out of ideas at this point, so that's what I ended up adding there. I also just love the fact that you can make these beds as big or small as you want. Like you can turn a twin bed into a double bed. I love that. It's so much fun. You cannot do that for the toddler beds. I think you can do it for the cribs though, if I'm not mistaken, but I don't think I remember seeing it for the toddler beds, but that's fine. I mean, how big of a bed does a toddler need anyways, right? But I'm working on the toddler's room now, and one thing I noticed about the stairs in this game, hopefully it gets fixed, but you see that little like gap that has an opening? I'm trying to cover up. I end up putting the toddler bed over it, so hopefully the toddler bed is functional, but I could not get that to go away, and it was in between where you can actually build the walls. So that would have been there regardless, whether it have been in the toddler's room or if it would have been in the hallway, it would have been there. And I was trying to think of the best way possible to be able to cover it up, and I think I did the best that I could by adding the toddler bed on top of there. But like I said, hopefully the toddler bed is functional, but at least you can't see the gap, I guess. I mean, maybe it was something I did, maybe I did not place the staircase correctly, but I feel like I did, and I feel like it would have been there anyways, but who knows. If you know anything, let me know down below. I did also make this teddy bear artwork, but like I said, it was literally just a sticker, and then I put it on like a blue background, so I didn't do anything that you guys could not do yourself, that's for sure. But I do think it was super cute doing a little teddy bear theme in this room. I was inspired by that toddler bed, if you could not tell. And I'm not sure if you guys seen it, but when I first placed, right before I placed the teddy bear picture in the frame right above the bed, I had one that had like different sports equipment and it said sports at the bottom. I made that too. And I did a little bit more to that one. I didn't just add stickers, I actually added the word sports at the bottom and made it all curved and fun. And like I said, I had a lot of fun making art for this build. I did not use the sports one, however, but it was still fun to make. I made it for like future builds. And this pillow, how fun is it that you can actually add a picture on that pillow? I love that. Like you could probably take like a snapshot of your para's like boyfriend or girlfriend as like a teenager and place it on a pillow in their room. I think that's like a fun little touch. Or maybe like them holding hands or them cuddling or something and place it on a pillow, and just has like a little storytelling thing where they love to cuddle with that pillow because it has their boyfriend or girlfriend's face on it. I don't know, I think that's kind of funny, and definitely something I feel like a teen would do with their first love or something. And that one that I placed there that has the teddy bear on the cloud, I made that myself too. Not to toot my own horn, but I actually placed the cloud there separately. It wasn't just a sticker altogether. See, I could be a little creative. And I almost forgot to add a high chair until I seen it in the catalog, so I added one downstairs in the dining room. And not 100% sure if the baby and the toddler needs one, or just the toddler or just the infant, so I just placed a blue one, a blue and white one. I figured it was fine. They both could share it if they have to. And I am now finishing up the rest of the house. There's only a couple of more things I have to do. I still have to do that bathroom upstairs. I'm working on the little office nook now. I just add a computer desk with like the rug and a couple decorations. And then I do put the easel over in the corner, like the back corner behind the computer desk right next to the sliding glass door. And this is where I put the at-home gym equipment, which literally is just a treadmill, and this weightlifting machine is all I could fit in there, but better than nothing. And then I put like a plant next to the treadmill. I put a little end table and I put a radio on top of it so that they could listen to music as they work out. And you probably aren't going to see it because I forgot to press record in time. But these posters I made in Canva as well. It just has like different, what I like to think of as paras working out for, like, you know, motivation. So you won't see me do the last bathroom upstairs until almost the very end because, to be honest, I almost forgot about it completely. So at least you do get to see me do it, but there's really nothing special about it. I think the one downstairs turned out a lot better. This one up here is really just for functionality. I have a shower tub combo, a toilet, and a sink with a few little decorations. Like I said, nothing too extravagant, just enough to be able to play the game and have an extra bathroom, you know. And I am just about to start on the balcony, and I add a couple of outside chairs. They're like wicker chairs. They look like they're perfect for outside. And I told you guys earlier that I had one of you guys let me know on my last video that you could actually change the text on the welcome mat. And so that is what I ended up doing, not only by the front door, but also on the back balcony as well. Underneath these wicker chairs, I actually add that welcome mat, but instead of having like welcome or hello, which hello is what I put on the front door one, but back here I actually put relax, and I thought it was just such a cute little touch. I absolutely love it, and you'll see me do it here in just a moment. And then I also pulled out the telescope, and so they have another additional skill building item out here. See how it says relax? How cute is that? I love that so much. It would be really nice and relaxing just sitting on that back balcony, just talking to whoever, one of your family members, a friend, whoever it may be. It just sounds really nice. And we're pretty much done with the inside. Besides, like I said, I forgot to do the bathroom until towards the end. But now I'm just finishing up by adding the columns and the last minute details on the outside of the house. And then I'm going to start on all of the landscaping, like the trees and the flowers and the bushes in the front and the backyard. And to be quite honest, I find it a little bit difficult to landscape here in Paralives. They don't have a lot of selection at the moment, which I know will change, but also, I don't know, I just find it's hard. It doesn't come as easy to me like it does in The Sims, you know? So it is really fun to do nonetheless, and I do love how you can size up and down all of the bushes and trees and flowers, so that makes it a little bit easier. There's one thing that I really miss though. That is hedgerow bushes. I really miss hedgerow bushes here in Paralives. That's my go-to in The Sims, is just to surround the whole foundation of the house with hedgerow bushes. And they don't have them here. And I haven't tried to make my own yet using the regular bushes I have all around the house by the end of this build. I really need to try and get in game and make my own hedgerow bushes, but they don't have any that you can just grab out of the catalog and plop down, unfortunately. I wish that they did. They also do not have gates yet, which I'm sure will come too at some point, so I just had to leave that privacy fence with a little bit of a gap so that your Sims can go from the front yard to the backyard. I just don't like not having a section where you can go from the front to the back or the back to the front without having to step inside. You know what I mean? So, and I also like to have a little pathway leading from the front yard to the backyard, which I do in this house as well. I'm getting a little bit better with the terrain paint, however. I don't put any garden soil underneath the flowers and bushes yet. I still need to play around with that. I just really wish there was an opacity slider to make it a little bit easier, but I'm sure that'll come with time too. And I just find it really difficult to add grass for some reason. And make it look realistic and not too patchy or too much. Like, I have a hard time finding a healthy in between, you know? And so that's another thing I have to end up working on. And I realized that you can, in fact, put your own flowers in the empty flower box. There's just not a way to copy and paste it to be able to add it to all of the windows. And I just feel like it's going to be way too much work to do it individually at the moment until they add the ability to like copy and paste stuff. So hopefully that's on their agenda to do at some point. I feel like it would be really, really helpful. And just more flower boxes in general is needed because I'm not a huge fan of the ones that I'm using here. I just didn't want to use the exact same ones I did last time. The one with like the lattice bottom. It looks better, but I did it last time, so I wanted to use different stuff this time. Here on the front porch, I decided to put some of these plastic chairs. I was going to do the same wicker chairs that are in the back. It probably would make more sense to have those nice ones here in the front, but I kind of like the way that these plastic chairs looked, kind of more realistic. And I have a table in between them. I end up putting a lamp on it, and then I add a water bottle with a couple of soda bottles, and I size them down to make it look like the smaller ones. And I just feel like that adds a really nice realistic touch. So it looks like they actually use their front porch and just sit there and relax and talk to each other. And maybe people watch as the people go by. And I also really love these hanging plants, by the way. I think they're super cute. And then, like I said a little bit ago, I do end up adding the welcome mat here, and I end up putting hello. I don't know. I wasn't very creative with that, but I thought it was cute. And I love putting a little decor fence in the front, like literally serves no purpose other than being decor and super cute. It just makes for better curb appeal, I guess, you know? And I do end up removing that chimney, by the way. I totally forgot to add a fireplace in this house. And so at that point, there was no use for the chimney. I also didn't really like the way that it looked. And so I ended up just removing it towards the end. I'm not sure if I included that in the speed build or not, but just know that if you download this off of the Steam Workshop, it's not going to be there. And I have a couple of outdoor trash cans out here onto it. Actually, I end up moving it from that spot over to the side of the fence. You'll see that here shortly. I have a grill out here with a picnic table, and I love that you can adjust the size of this picnic table to make it longer or shorter. I just think that's super fun. And I do end up pulling out the little umbrella, and I put that in the center of the picnic table. I just love like umbrella table and chair sets in the backyard. It just makes it look so homey and cute, and I want one in real life, but I don't have one, and I need to make a little like outdoor patio section in at my house anyways. I have a screened in porch, which at that point there's no use for an umbrella, but I do want one outside because it's just cute. But at this point, guys, I pretty much said all that there is to say, so I will leave you to enjoy the rest of this speed build on your own. I had so much fun today, and I really hope you guys did as well. Of course, if you enjoyed this build, please don't forget to leave a like and also subscribe if you have not already. Comment down below what your favorite part of today's speed build was, and also share this with your friends if they are life simulation fans as well. I hope you all have an amazing day or night wherever you are. Stay tuned for the screenshots, by the way, I have them at the end. And I will see you all on Friday, and I have a really fun speed build plan for Friday, so definitely stay tuned for that. Alright guys, I'll see you then. Bye!